This is what they believe is the ultimate punishment for human traffickers. First, everything is taken from her clothes, her dignity. Then, huge blocks of ice are smashed into sharp pieces. She is carefully placed inside a wooden barrel, and the ice is poured over her until it fills every space. A heavy lid is slowly lowered, leaving only her head outside, so she can barely breathe. To make sure there is no escape, the prisoner uses an extremely strong leather belt. Once it is locked in place, no amount of struggling can set her free. Less than 2 months later, the woman begins to lose feeling in her body. Numbness spreads upward until she can no longer feel anything below her neck. Her face twists in pain as weak sounds escape her lips. She turns her head and looks at another prisoner beside her. After being trapped here for so long, the other person is barely alive. They stare at each other in silence, filled with regret they can no longer put into words, but the punishment doesn't end there. The guards torture them until they are almost dead, then stop, just long enough for them to recover a little. The moment strength starts to return, boiling water is poured over their bodies. After that, they are thrown into a pitch-black room with no light at all. Fear becomes their only companion. During the first week, a small window is left open, letting sunlight touch them again, but on the 8th day, it is sealed shut. Darkness closes in, air grows thin, and hope slowly fades. Food is pushed through a narrow crack in the door, barely edible, barely enough to survive. Soon, even that is taken away. In suffocating silence, they move step by step toward the end. But this woman's fate is different. Without warning, she is dragged into a pool. This is not a bath. It is a punishment. On the doctor's command, the metal door locks shut. The heating valve is turned on. The water temperature rises fast. She screams and struggles, but the doctor does nothing. She hasn't confessed yet. Again and again, she is told to admit her crimes. Still, she refuses, claiming she is innocent. That refusal pushes the doctor over the edge. He orders a final method. A pool filled with ancient ice is prepared, and she is lowered into it without knowing what awaits her. After being torn apart by extreme heat and freezing cold, she finally breaks. She confesses everything. Only then, too late, does she begin to understand the pain, fear, and despair those children once felt.